In this video, we're going to be using the Big Dude Barbus, which you see right there, Sport Shaving Cream, and the Wade & Butcher for Barber's Use Straight Razor. Stay tuned. Hey there, folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host, CDB. Thanks so much for joining me again today. I really appreciate it. So, today we're going to be using the Big Dude Barbus Shaving Cream. This is the Sport Shaving Cream, and again, the picture's right there. The gent from Barbus sent me this for evaluation. The scent on it is a nice, clean, fresh, to my nose, a little citrusy, clean, fresh scent. I do like the scent of it. You can get this on the website below. I will link his website below. It's a 2-pack, and it is 5.29 ounces for both of the tubes for 18 bucks, which comes to $3.40 an ounce on our price chart, which is a good price. So 2-pack of the tube of creams, not bad at all. Very decently priced. I have not used this particular cream before, so we'll see how that goes today. We're also going to be using the Wade & Butcher for barber's use. This one is an old razor dating back to the 1800s. You can see how thick that spine is. Good size razor. I can't remember how the hone was on this razor, so we'll see how it goes today, and hopefully it goes well. A little under 24 hours growth today, but you can see some of the salt there, and we will get to misting, and this is just plain water. The brush today is That Darn, or the artist formerly known of That Darn Rob, now Chisel and Hound. And so far, in talking to people throughout the community, almost no one prefers the Chisel and Hound name or logo to That Darn Rob. And so comment below if you prefer the old logo. Not that it's going to change anything, but I'm just curious about it. And one of the things we're going to try to do is not spend all day lathering. Because really, all we need to do is get this lather on our face. We don't need to spend a ton of time doing it, but I get to talking and then it just drags things out. But I can assure you, I believe this will be a nice lather. It certainly looks nice. And again, affordable price there at, what did I say? $3.40 an ounce, so no problem with that. Let's just cut a little bit of that back, and we'll see how we do today with our Wade & Butcher for barber's use. And one of the things I want to mention before I start is the Barbus dude sent this snack right here, which I cannot pronounce, and I tried it and it is great. So there's a link for that below. Those are Slovakian treats. That particular one is kind of like wafers that we have here in the United States, like chocolate and different flavors, but it was very good. So thank you, Mr. Barbus. Okay, let's get going and see how we do. Remember to stretch. And this blade is quite a bit bigger than what I'm used to using. And it shaves well though. But this one is not a super hollow blade, which I tend to prefer, but it is cutting well, I do believe. Completely different feel, but it's cutting well so far. So no problems with that, and the Barbus feels plenty slick enough so far. If I have done a good job lathering it, then it will do its job. I'm sure we've used the Barbus soap a couple of times. We've had no problems with that. And so far, yeah, cutting well. No problems. This blade is more wedgy in nature. It's got some hollow to it, but it's a big, thick piece of metal, so you're not going to get a lot of feedback from a razor like this. I do prefer more hollow grinds, honestly. The closer I can get to a shavette type blade in sharpness and being thin, the better off. That's just what I prefer. You may not. You know, the Stallion and I have been going back and forth on that. And my perspective on it is, I'm not telling you one way is better than the other. What I'm saying is try it. Don't rule it out. Don't be hard-headed and just close-minded. You know, try things for yourself and see what you think. You may find they work well for you. You may find they don't. But try it and don't be close-minded. What I don't want to do is routinely poo-poo things and close options off for people, because options are part of the enjoyment of this hobby. So having access to all these different soaps and straight razors and things. So I started straight razor shaving in big part due to the stallion. He had a very instrumental role in starting, and I'm thankful for that because it gave me another option, and I really like that. So I want to return the favor to all of you out there in saying, keep an open mind, try a little bit of everything and see what works best for you. It may not be, you may not like shavettes, you may not even like straight razors. You may not find them to be practical for you, or you might find you just prefer a machine blade, or the other way around, like the stallion who prefers a blade that he tailors the edge to his liking, and that is entirely okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. The case I'm making here is that they all work well for me, and if you give them a chance, I think in a lot of cases your face can adjust over time, because like I've said in previous videos, when I first came to DE shaving, my face was not happy for a while. So you can't pick up a shavette or a straight razor, really any kind of razor, if you're used to another type of edge, and pick it up just 1 or 2 times and really make an informed decision. You're going to have to use them many times and allow your face some time to adjust, and then sort of make your judgments after actually giving your face time to adjust, and your technique time to develop as well. Okay, let's get back to our Barbus. So no problem whatsoever with the Barbus. We have a lot of fun with the Barbus guy, and on the bag where he sent these products, it said Big Dude Barbus, Big Dude Barbus, Big Dude Barbus. So that was pretty cool. I must say, those chocolates that he has on his website, they are good. Slovakian. So if you were into that kind of thing and you want something for your kids that's maybe different, you go, hey, check these out. These are from Slovakia. There's a link to one of them below, and I'll show the next one the next time I use a Barbus product, which will be later this week. We'll try another product. But no problems here with the lather, excuse me. We will not spend all day applying it to the face. I must say, the difference for me, and this is my opinion, between a big blade like this that's a little thicker is, even though this one I think it's actually honed pretty well, it never feels like, I like the feeling of the hollow blades. I feel like they're maybe a little bit thinner, and they always, for me, feel like they cut a little better. Again, more similar to a shavette or machine blade, which is my preference. I just like the way it cuts. It feels better to my skin. So for me, what causes irritation is any sort of pulling or tugging. If it's a very sharp blade and it's cutting smoothly and cleanly, that's best case for me. We'll use the Dr. Matte cloth here. But this big old blade here is doing its job, or at least I'm allowing it to do its job. That, as Ken Klitschko has been mentioning, is true. We're actually performing the shave here. The blade is the tool that's aiding us in our performance. Just like the soap is aiding the blade in its performance, or aiding us in our performance, I should say. I'm already messing it up. Ken's philosophy there. There is something to that, because we're the ones shaving here. The razor's not shaving for me. I'm in control of the blade here. And if I don't do it properly, I won't get a good shave, and it'll be that simple. So it is entirely up to me. But I'll tell you right now, this blade, although I think it's got a decent hone on it, just the nature of the blade itself, it doesn't cut as cleanly and as smoothly. And I love the razor. I love the fact that it's old. I love the way it looks. I love everything about it, except I wish it was uber sharp, like those WEC blades or that, feather blade. but it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It will definitely cut. It just doesn't feel as nice for me on my skin. So the effect on my skin is exactly opposite the Stallion's, which is why we sort of talk about it so much in our videos, you know, in the threads. So for me, a lot of times, regardless of who owns it, and it can be anyone from Sprecher to Stallion to Frank Misa to you name them, I rarely get a blade that feels like a Shavette. It feels that sharp. That's what I would like to get, but rarely do I get one. They still feel good. But this one, for example, you have to muscle it just a little bit, whereas the Wex, there's no muscling whatsoever. It just cuts. It's just like, you know, so what I'm trying to explain is you got to put a little pressure in there to move it through the growth. Whereas with the Wex or the Feather SS, it's just, you know, it's just going through it easily. And so for me, that produces less of a adverse effect on my skin than a straight, although the straights aren't bothering me as long as they're honed well. But my face actually, it's exactly opposite the Stallion, whereas the Stallion says when he used a machine blade that his face doesn't feel great afterwards. It's exactly the opposite for me, although I will say my face will not be hurting after the shave in any, unless I cut myself maybe. But during the shave, it's not as comfortable. Exactly opposite. So what that tells you is there's a lot of personal preference involved here. So it's not that I'm right or the Stallion's right. It's not that. It's that you need to try it for yourself and figure it out. But in order to figure it out, you have to be open-minded and you have to keep an open mind. And my advice is to try both and keep trying them both until your face adjusts. And then if you have the good fortune of using both, just use them both and enjoy. You know, more options are always a good thing. Also, wanted to mention along these lines, I saw Junior, the dude of shaving, use a shavette for the first time in his video. And you could tell he had already psyched himself out. He already had a poor attitude about it. And then by the end, he was like, oh, that's not so bad. He's like, I still don't like it, but a lot of how you approach something. So if you think it's going to be crap, it will be crap. It will manifest. What's in here will often make you think that what's happening here is poor. Our preconceived notions weigh heavily on everything in this hobby, from soaps to blades, which is why ideally we'd be able to try things blind without having preconceived notions. And I think our minds would be changed on a lot of things. So again, my advice is use them both regularly. Use everything you can get your hands on. And then over time, you'll be able to decide. But if you only use it once or twice or a handful of times, you're not giving it a chance. Because I remember years ago, when I would do straight razor shaves, I'd do no more than a handful, and then I was like, I don't want to do this. This isn't fun. I never gave it a chance. It takes longer than just a few shaves. And so my advice, make sure you're giving it a reasonable chance to succeed and allow your face time to adjust. It does take adjustment. It always does. And what it has done for me, so I'm thankful to the Stallion, because without him, I probably wouldn't be using this, and it's very enjoyable. But I'm also thankful to the Shavette shavers, because they put me onto those, and that's also very enjoyable. And of course, I'm thankful to the DE shavers that I watched many, many years ago first that put me onto that. Single edge razors use all the options. For me, that really brings a lot of enjoyment. It brings an extra level of enjoyment being able to use You just pick something up and you can use it. You're not a one-trick pony, as it were. And you know you can successfully get a great shave with anything. You can just pick it up and use it. And that brings me a lot of enjoyment. And it also gives me a sense of accomplishment as well. Let's get that there. Very nice. These wedgie type blades are not my preference, but it does cut well, but it almost feels like, and a lot of people who first start straight razor shaving will have this impression. They're like, it feels kind of tuggy. It's not exactly tuggy, but it requires a little bit of pressing through the growth. And that is the primary difference that I see between a straight razor, regardless of how well it's honed, and a machine blade, is that uber level of sharpness, just whoosh, versus something you got to maybe push a little, not a lot. It's just ever so slight. But a lot of straight razor shavers, when they first start, they're very uncomfortable that they have to sort of move it through the growth a little bit. And that adjustment takes time. So my advice, try everything and form your opinions based on use over time, not just 1 or 2 or 3 times or even 10 times. You know, use them hundreds of times and then decide. Because by the time you've got 100 or so uses in, you've got enough data there to start, you know, making some judgments, I think. Okay, let me rinse and then we'll come back, get into the post. Stay tuned. And all right, we're back with the magic made by witches, and this is Thayer's Witch Hazel. Cucumber, just in a spray bottle. Very, very nice. I am very pleased with the Barbus. The Big Dude Barbus Sport. Smells nice, clean, fresh. We were able to get a very, very good shave with it. No problems whatsoever, no bubbles, troubles. There is what it looks like. It's got that green chlorophyll type look to it. Actually contains chlorophyll. So I will link that below, and we're going to finish off today after we show you what else we used, which was that darn Rob, now Chisel and Hound, APShaveco Sinbad Knot, really, really nice. The Wade and Butcher for Barber's use, very, very nice. I enjoyed that as well. Not as enjoyable as more hollow grinds for me or shavettes, but enjoyable all the same. We're going to finish off today with the Dermacol Poker Face, which was sent to me by the Barbus gent, and we will use a little bit of this. And again, these samples are pretty generous, so we'll use some of this and then send it on to another shaver when we send a package. So that's pretty awesome. And a lot of these have a vacuum, so you know you can sort of control it, and we'll use about half of it. That smells kind of nice. So let's check this out. I like that. Again, if you're interested in any of these products that the Barbus guy, Big Dude Barbus, sells, there will be links below to his website, and particular links to the Barbus Sport Shaving Cream and the Poker Face. This smells good. Dermacol Poker Face, nice. So I'm going to put the cap back on this, and we will allow another shaver to have it. That feels nice, smells nice. Thank you, Big Dude Barbus. I really enjoyed this shave. I hope you enjoyed it with me. I want to remind you, it's your shave, do it your way, and until next time, God bless.